Choosing the right e-reader can be a challenge, and today we're making that choice a bit easier as we compare the key features of the Note Air 3C and the Kobo Elipsa 2E. These are two popular e-ink devices. One is really focused on reading, and the other is focused on being able to do everything else. First thing, can you see how quick the Kobo Elipsa is to wake up? Not bad, the Boox, but still, I haven't used this in a good few weeks and it just woke straight up and still has plenty of battery life. Something to hang on to. Turn that brightness down a little bit. It's an excellent screen. Let's discuss who these two devices are best for. The Note Air 3C has a really sleek design and it's got an advanced note-taking feature. It's perfect for those who value functionality, if you're constantly jotting down ideas or notes. The color display also makes it a great choice, but some people think maybe it's got a few too many note-taking functions, and it does have a steep learning curve. Because of the color, it is great for people who enjoy graphic novels or children's books, or of course, more professional documentation that has color figures in it. The color screen, however, does change one thing, and you can see that really clearly on the screen here. Even with the front light right up, it looks quite a bit darker than the Kobo screen does. It's a bit much. But with them both right off, the contrast is huge. And again, that leaves you running any device with a color screen with much higher brightness, and that gives you another hit on the battery. But on the other hand, the Kobo Elipsa 2E has a much longer battery life. It's got an extensive range of titles built into its library, and it's ideal for avid readers who enjoy spending long hours diving into different worlds. And with this current generation of devices, those that are denoted with the E, Kobo are going for the more environmentally conscious design choices of using ocean-bound plastics to design their case. And even though it is plastic, I really like that feel on your hands when you are reading. The Note Air 3 is an aluminium unibody, so it's CNC'd, scraped out of one piece of aluminium, and all the components are fit right into this. Generally, the design and build quality is absolutely fabulous here on the Note Air 3C. But they're different design language, not one being better than another. And yes, of course, you can get a Kobo app on the Note Air 3C, and that's an important distinction to make. Yes, the Kobo's got a great library, but you can have that library and the Kindle library, and any other library you might choose here on an Android tablet. So let's talk about the two displays. The Kobo Elipsa 2E does not have the cutting-edge black and white display that the Kindle Scribe has, but that being said, it does have a very nice e-ink display itself. And black and white is sometimes better for reading than color is. Let's go into a book. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this, but it is only 227 dots per inch. The Kindle Scribe has a 300 dots per inch black and white screen. The Note Air 3C has a 300 dots per inch in black and white, and then also 150 dots per inch in color. So it adds that extra layer of color, and the text itself is crisper. This text was quite a bit smaller than it was on the Kobo, and it was still looking crisper. But reading isn't only about the crispness of the text, and it certainly is crisp enough from any kind of angle that you would normally be reading. There is nothing wrong with 227 pixels per inch. Okay, the Kobo Elipsa isn't a lot lighter, it's 40 grams lighter, but it does feel different. It does feel lighter in your hand. It feels more durable, you feel a little bit less precious over it. Generally, it's the better for reading. Unless, that is, you need to read things with color figures. For instance, here we are, a graphic which kind of makes more sense when you have the color information there as well. And when it comes to battery life, another important aspect of reading, the Kobo Elipsa really shines. It can last more than a week on a single charge, whereas the Note Air 3C, it typically needs to be charged every few days. If I was just reading on the device, I think I'd get 3 days out of it, because if I was just reading on the Kobo Elipsa, you might even get more than that full week, maybe 2, maybe even up to 3. Now the real difference is the stylus technology. The Wacom EMR stylus on the Boox is far superior to the stylus on the Kobo. You see, that would never happen on the Wacom EMR technology. Gosh, what's it doing? It seems to think I'm still pressing there. That's a bit frustrating. You do have a highlight button and an erase on the back here on the Kobo stylus, but Boox have got around the need to actually have one of those by making some really clever, what they call smart scribe features. Feels better, it's more responsive, it's just generally a better writing feel. Delete like this, select like this. Okay, highlight, you do need to select a highlighter. But you do have the added feature of being able to make perfect shapes each time. Kobo has some advanced note-taking features. If you select an advanced notebook, then you can do handwriting conversion, which is great. You can add drawings and diagrams. It will sort of conform them into nice shapes for you. You can have maths. Don't know what's happened there. And it can even handle some quite complicated maths. Did okay there, but it's not perfect. And I really wanted to use that for a project where I was writing some physics questions, and I just found, unfortunately, it was a bit frustrating, rather than being the real help that I'd hoped it would be. I think if the pen was better, I would enjoy using that whole advanced notebook thing a little bit more. And for anyone who's serious about writing, I think that you really ought to look at the Boox devices. They go further, of course, and they do have a type of device which has a keyboard case. This is the Tab Ultra C Pro. Now, if you are someone who needs to do anything apart from reading and writing, for instance, drawing, artist, designs, anything like that, then the Boox device is the better option. You don't have many choices in your pens here. And importantly, if you want to draw, you don't have anything such as a pencil. The pressure sensitivity just isn't as smooth. Generally, any type of drawing is not going to be as good as you can do here on the Note Air 3C. This is a place that I really do enjoy drawing because of those excellent tools that you've got. And the added color, it's not perfect because you can only choose a certain limited palette of colors, but it is better than not having color at all for art. And that stylus, once again, it has pressure sensitivity and tilt, which the pressure sensitivity on the Kobo is not as good, and the tilt is not there. The Note Air 3C allows for handwriting recognition, and I think that one of the big differences is that now you can even do handwriting recognition in the background here, and you can globally use handwriting recognition to be your keyboard input essentially. Whereas the handwriting recognition on the Kobo is good, it's really accurate. In fact, it's one of the more accurate of them, but you can only do that in this advanced notebook format, and you have to therefore choose when you first open the notebook that I want to do a handwriting recognition notebook, and therefore the entire notebook will be like this. And so the whole notebook will be that handwriting recognition notebook. And it's not a very flowy experience. And what I mean is you keep getting interrupted because you have to double tap. You have to wait for it to recognize. It's quite quick for short bits of text like that, but you can imagine once you're doing a paragraph at a time or a few lines, it slows you down. And rather than just recognizing whilst you're writing the next bit, you have to wait for the dialog box to clear. It's just a bit annoying. And that's the thing. I think these devices are for people who want to use pens and have that analog experience and write on it like it's a sheet of paper, but also want that to integrate with their digital note-taking spaces, to be able to take the information off the device and into their cloud apps. And that again is where the Note Air 3C really excels, because you can have your apps installed on here and you can copy straight out to them, and then that goes up into the cloud. Whereas the Kobo, there is a Kobo cloud, I believe, but it's limited compared to all you can do here on the Note Air 3C. Why should you go for the Kobo? Well, I think you go for the Kobo if you need the battery life. If you're a more environmentally conscious person, then certainly it's still good an option. And I think lastly, price. Price might sway you towards the Kobo Elipsa. £350 is the base price of the Kobo, £500 is the price of the Note Air 3C. So there's a big difference there, but the Kobo is not the cheapest of all of the devices that are out there. Have a look at the Kindle Scribe. One more reason to go for the Kobo though is if you are already in the Kobo ecosystem and you have a Kobo library and you want to stick with that and you want to add some note-taking features. Still excellent. If you're serious about writing, if you prefer to use different apps, then the Note Air 3C is the one for you. And if you want to save that bit of money, you can get quite close to the Kobo Elipsa price by going for the black and white version. The black and white Note Air 3 has the same screen, 227 pixels per inch screen as the Kobo Elipsa does, and is £400. So very close actually in terms of price. And all you are missing out on is you're missing out on the color screen, and you're missing out on the super refresh technology. The super refresh technology, that really limits the battery life. So you're not only just missing out on the super refresh technology, you're adding that excellent battery life as well, which I think is worth it.